Well, hello, and welcome. We are here today. This is Julie with the Jewel Design, and we are going to be working on, really quickly, just because it's a minor tutorial, we're going to be working on the little journal that is actually going to go in the back of our flip-flop file folder, ephemera holder. So here we go, guys. This is what we're at. We've been working on this, filling it, creating the pockets, creating the tags, that go in the top pockets that are top loaded. We did a lot of decorating. So go ahead and look at my last video, which when we were working on parts of these lovely ladies, right? So you want to see how those turned out? Definitely go take a peek at that. I will link it even here. At the end of the video, I will link it back to this video when we were starting to decorate these guys. I'm going to show you we did a lot of layering in the back and stenciling to sort of get a feel for what it was doing and then working on the top. So I didn't get as far as I would have liked, but the idea is there if you want to see them. So we've got those filled. We've got cards and decorating on the front of each one of these. All I have left is a little decor here, and I'm going to add two cute little bows, right? I think back here, since we've had some dimensional stuff. So that's going to be adorable. But I think once we get the last of the scraps done, I will know how I want to do a flat decor on the back. So it is our flip-flop. You know, it opens, you close, you open, and the journal will be back here. So it's about 5.5 tall by 4 3/8 wide. And that gets us out here a little bit, so we will see some pages, which is fine. And I am taking my standard, would be, I guess, a standard 9x6 journal papers. The digital papers for these guys, you know, are this way. So, of course, too tall for our little journal. I thought I could just cut the pages in half and put them in here, but they were way too small, and so it looked silly. So, bummer, but decent. We are going to cut each one of these pages 5.5 inches, leaving me a strip down below that I will then put aside and use for, you know, with all the rest of the scraps for some cute project later down the line. You never know. But these though, are a little too long and definitely too tall. So we're only cutting 5.5 inches wherever I feel is going to make the most sense. And then each page is either going to get a single or a double fold to make it a tuck on the back side of each page. Because these are all beautifully printed. And I really, I could have done it in a way where we did sort of the trifold, like accordion fold in the middle. I could have glued them back to back, put papers in the middle. But I already printed on the back of these. And I hate to waste ink. It absolutely, irritates me. So I would rather, on some of these, fold back a section, right? Once I've cut it, we're going to fold back a section like we did. I didn't fold anything here, but we're going to create, you know, side tucks on some of these pages to put all these cute little journal cards. I have button cards. I have, you know, cute little decor, and I have these lovely little journal cards. We cut them in 4s. That would be really cute, stuck inside all these flaps, all these tucks that we're about to create on the pages. It's the best way to do it, especially if you're doing a flip-flop journal. There's a lot of that. We either fold it to where you have a little bit of a piece of paper on the next side, and it's considered what's the word? Oh, shoot, I can't remember the word right now. A tab, I guess, but it just, you leave a little piece of paper and you will actually glue something onto it to make it a tab. You're gonna tab something in. You fold it back and you make a pocket. You fold it up and make it a pocket. There's ways to sort of use all your paper and not have to cut everything. Now in this case though, to fold something up on the page, I could have folded it up, I guess, to make it a pocket, but a lot of them would be upside down images, and that I'm not so big on. And I wanted them slightly writable, maybe. So I didn't really want to cover up too much of the back, but they are pretty. And so we are going to put some other things in between to give us writing pages if we feel that these aren't writable enough. But with a tuck and a journal card in them, you don't really have to worry about writing in them. The journal card will do that for you. And we're going to put embossed pattern paper and actual coffee dyed paper in it. And we'll have about 52 book pages in our little journal when we're done. So that is what we're up to today, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing very well. Happy Tuesday. We are coming up on the middle of the month. Woohoo. And I'm freezing out here, I just realized. What don't I have? I don't have my heater and I don't have my glue. So I'm going to pause very quickly. Haha, I know. Quick for 5 minutes for me. 2 seconds for you. You don't even notice. But let me get my 2 things that I need, and then I will cut a few of these so you can see what I was thinking. Pause it again, and then, we'll keep assembling and pause and assembling, coming back and forth so you can see the process as quickly as possible. And get the journal into gear so we can get this into the shop. Because I know there's somebody out there who loves, pink and mint or pink and sage. It's a gorgeous combo. It's sewing, so it's perfect for Mother's Day. It's great as a birthday gift. Something cute and pretty, a bunch of little cards to write on, tags to write on, and even a little journal to write maybe favorite memories or something, exciting and doable and cute and just a great present. So we're going to work on that. So give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll keep going. Okay, we are back. Now let's see. I noticed lately, someone did mention to me that the coloring is a little off. Now because I am in the garage, it is going to have more of a, here, let's see what we do. Either whites me out or it, yeah, I can't, sorry guys, hold on 1 sec. Let me do that. Okay, if I go back far enough, you get a brighter light. If I go up close, then it darkens it up, and it's real annoying. So maybe that'll help. We're working on it. Okay, so usually, you know me, I like to do my deckled edges. In this case, I think because of all the folds, for the most part, we're going to keep this pretty clean cut. It may leave us open to do some deckled on these guys, but they're all already sort of beautifully put. And I did realize that these are a little tall, so we are going to do a slight fold down across the top. And it's going to top or bottom, and it's going to allow us to put lace or trim or something on each page to make this the right height, because they're too tall. I'm going to have tissue paper instead of like a doily. We're going to do some pink, and it's a little rough, it's cool. We're going to do a little bit of pink and green ink on this. We've got this folded for writing space. Then I want to add in these 2 cute baggies. These are in our shop, a 4x6 and a 4x7. And we're going to add them in opposites so we have a pocket, and then this will just be a decorative page, like a decorative piece that we can decor on. You could write on, who knows. Like maybe I'll decorate the weird flappy side so that you have the flatter side to write on or sticker or something. But I want to add 2 little baggies in. So we've got some cute stuff to add to this to make it, different. But we'll get a few pieces of each thing started so that you see, and then I'll sew it in, of course. And sewing it in will help because I did notice that these guys are starting to move around. So by sewing this one in, even though I can't sew it super tight closed because of this gap here, we'll sew it in. It'll keep these guys from moving beyond. I noticed when I had it open the other day, things were shifting, and I was like, ah! So when we sew in the journal, they'll keep these tag journal cards in place. And then this one's pretty tight because we have this one glued. This will get sewn in, so that'll keep these 2 from moving around. And this one doesn't seem to be moving around as much, but if I need to, I can add a little glue in there maybe. So there was the only glitch when I went to go glue everything else down. I didn't get it really tight enough, or line it up here, you have a gap up here. So, but it's not bad. It'll be due. Sewing in the journal will help. So, okay. So we're starting off with, of course, you see all my little lines here, but like which way to go, because it's going to go up this way, and it was going to cut right across her arm and like right underneath, in her corset. And I was like, I really don't want to see this on the other page, so I decided to see this instead. And where it does cut is above the sewing machine, so I can use this strip somewhere else beautifully, and it doesn't really, But when you have these pages, more times than not, we try to, or we used to, and I know it's shifted some over the years, but the original goal was to have your heavier clusters or collages of imagery on when you did your digitals, on your bottom right and your top left. And then you could do sort of lighter versions on the other sides, so that when you folded it, when you looked at the page, you had this here, you had this on the top over here. Or if you folded it inward and you had pages in between, you still had something here and something up here. You could do all across the bottom, so inside and out, and kept it light on the top. But you tried not to put too much in the middle, unless it was something floral, something that when you folded it, it had sort of a symmetrical feel to it, and it didn't really matter what you saw. So like here again, I'm keeping it more bright here, something here, a little something in the bottom. So I thought I could cut each one, but then I did realize that then having to fold back, certain things worked well and some things didn't. So I had to figure that out beforehand. So we're going to get the, let's see, make some room here. I'm starting to get crowded. Oh no. I have to pull out the sort of, whatever you want to call it. That's right, I still have these too. I'll have to see if I can stick that in somewhere. I have some of those too. I have them in white and I have them on the linen papers, and I really do like the linen paper version. Plus they're a little smaller for this journal, so I have larger ones that I had created, but I liked the little ones on the linen paper. And, you know, I mean, I love these too. And inked them. Yeah, these are the white ones that I have a little bit of background. I inked them pretty good. So either way, I think they look really cool, and it was fun to make them. I have a garden version and I have the sewing version. I just haven't put them up for print yet in the shop. One of these days. Well, they were digital, but I don't. If you would like them digitally, let me know, and I can bring them back up for you. Okay, what do I want? I need cutting. So we'll do the first one to give you a feel for what we're doing, and then we can pause it, cut the other ones, and come back and we can do the folding. I'm trying to do my best not to waste too much time on the nitty gritty, but to show you just ways to. And like I said, I did measure the inside here to get a feel for what our spacing was. So, you know, from here to here, you know, it's about 4 3/4. Like, it's not going to be super tight. And it's upside down, but yeah. Yeah, about 4 3/4 gets me, let's see, 1, 2, yeah. 4 3/4 gets me to about here. About out here. And I'm like, okay, that should work. To where I'm okay with seeing, you know, the paper edges over here, because it may be decorated, it may be deckled, who knows what we're going to get. And then the 5 1/2 definitely stays right inside this panel, so I know that it's not overly sticking out. So if I do put a little something on the edges, we still have a little bit more room, so it doesn't completely go beyond our holder. So that's what I measured. So then to do that, you know, I have to go, okay, well, how far down? Where's the best fussy cut for it? For me to do 5 1/2 inches. And then from the middle, I had to decide, okay, if this one's a perfect middle, you know, which one am I going to go? Well, I'm going to go 4 3/4, and I'm going to fold it, which means this side has to be folded back to match this side, so on and so forth. So I'll show you. I'll show you. But you have to, you know, do a little thinking sometimes when you're trying to use a piece of paper that might not have been, you know, designed that way. We're trying to utilize the pages that I have, try to make the most of them. Don't want too many scraps, and I hate to cut. I was really hoping to cut it in half, but 4 1/4 is just way too small, even for this little journal. Alright, we use our thing, hope for the best. Oh, come on. It's getting cold. Go, come on. There we go. I pressed hard enough. Alright, how do we do? Not too shabby. Alright. And then, so then the fold. Okay, so, get my eraser. Don't want to have too many marks everywhere. So then, if I folded it in, folded it just seems so weird. Alright, I was trying to see 4 3/4 if that's the best way. And I'm always wondering if that's the mark over here. I don't like doing that. Okay, let's see. Sorry, ladies, I'm trying to think the best way to do this, but because I don't really. So that's 4. Out here is 4 1/4, and I need to go 4 1/4 from where though? That's 5 1/2, so 4 1/4 down. Oh, all right. Well, that might work too. How's that? Okay, 4 1/4, but we do need a little bit past that point because it's 3/8. I gotta fold it from the right direction. So doing this upside down backwards, maybe not. All right. So that was 4 1/4 at the W. I'm just sort of seeing something here. I'm not trying to cut it, but I go here. No, see, I can't do that way. I have 4 1/4, 4 1/4, 4 3/8, I think. 1, 2, 3, 3/8. So that's my 3/8 mark. And I'm wondering if I could carefully maybe use. I was trying to see if I could find the indent here where the cut line is to see if I could use the. Oh, I almost could. It almost worked. All right, very carefully. I not always suggest this, but I am using. If I'm measuring it here, I am using the indent where the blade would go in there with my little ball point here, and using it to score. So once it's scored, Not that it's perfect, but gives me. Now it's funny how that does not, my top or my bottom may not have been perfect, so this is where we get to fix it. But alright, so that's the case. Okay, we see the excess. So this has to be folded back into the page to make our tuck. But before I do that, if this is all, we're going to try to square up my I just assumed, let's see, hold on. I mean, I worry. Well, that has to be the cut line, so that'd have to be the, yeah, that has to be the right thing. Okay, right? Is that where it cuts? It cuts in here, huh? So actually, I was too far out. Or I went farther than I needed to, I bet you. Almost, guys. I was trying to see if I could find a way to do this, but, oh yeah, it went beyond. Darn it. Try not to do that. There's always got to be a whatever, right? Okay, so actually the score line's way up in here. My cut line is up here in this gouge, not in this one. Almost, right? I almost had it. I was so excited. I was like, wait, that might work. Try to do it all in one spot, but not so much. So my line is actually up here. My 4 1/4 there. That's a big difference. It's great to score something because sometimes it just makes it easier to fold it if you can get a straight line. Haha. If we can get a straight line. So, I mean, luckily it's gonna be in something. So, all right. So let's try that again. Let's see how that fits. I'm looking in here. There we go. Putting it in. That's much better. Okay. All right. So what I was going to do is, because when you fold it, for whatever reason, it's not perfectly squared. And so I wanted to just make sure we trim it off to where it is straight as possible on the bottom. Now that it's folded. And it's okay. You know, each page doesn't have to be perfectly the same size. I like a little bit off. So that's sort of straight on the bottom. Looks good on the top. Okay. Then we're going to erase my line. Now, this is where I was guessing to see where I'm going to make the difference. That's a huge difference, though. Wow. So I'm trying to see if I could score this along the line here a little bit. And I don't match it up. Yeah, so that our pages are the same length, and so there you go. Also, you have it, but here's what we have. Now, I wanted to fold it inward so that we have the contrast of paper. This becomes our decorative tuck. Glue it top and bottom, and now we can put our journal cards in it. So these pattern pages are nice backdrops to our little ephemera cards. So depending on how tight I make the pocket, you know, we can tuck in all kinds of pretty little cards that may fit. Yeah, even that will fit. So, you know, we can put 2 or 3 cards in a page. So this journal is going to hold ephemera cards right along with the ability to have writing pages in it. So that is the idea. Okay, so the first one, the better part is that this is, though, that one page. So this page I would want either, because it's sort of bland, either that over it in between, or we'll put the book page, something, because this is sort of bland. On the flip side, as you're going through the book, you know, that's really pretty on that side. Doesn't mean I can't flip some of these around, but then you just see it on the inside. So yeah, I don't know. Some of them will flip inside, some will flip outside. We'll have to see what works best. But I think something more decorative on this page up against it will help. So like putting maybe the pink pocket on that page. Right, a little decorating, tuck in a smaller journal card or some ephemera little fussy cuts in it, and it would sort of decorate this page that is sort of bland in its own right. So it's great to pair up every other page with something maybe pretty. So when you're flipping through it, you see this pretty, and they're like, oh yeah, there's something here. Great place to write something on it, though. No one says there's nothing. There's no reason why you don't need to write on it. But that gives you, you know, something to work with. So give me a second. See, it got dark again. That is so weird. And I didn't move anything, so that's what doesn't make me any sense. I take it out. Yeah, it's because that's close and nearby. How fun is that? Okay, so each page is getting, you know, trimmed, folded, and then a fold in to make a tuck. Some pages are going to have double. I have another page where the folds on this side. And then when you're done, I'm going to have all these lovely little strips left over that can make, you know, any number of things. But I'll hold on to them along with the other papers, and you never know what cute little project will come of this, because there's always something, right? All right, so I don't mess with the lighting too much, because I didn't notice. Yeah, it's great here, but I put that cutter and it all went really dark. So sorry. I need to probably buy a new camera or new phone that has a better camera and video on it. That's a couple hundred, you know, that's $500. The version of the phone that I have the newest one is really great, but it's not cheap. And so it's like, oh God, because I buy them outright for the most part, from the company, because my cell phone company may not have the actual phone, and or they want to tack it onto the bill, and on a monthly basis, I just don't want to add to the monthly bills. So it's like, well, if I have a really good paycheck from the store, might have to suck it up and go do it. So, all right, I'm going to pause. I'm going to cut these real quick so I can come back and just fold things, and we can start inking, and we can start putting the book together, and not have you guys watch me, you know, go through all this in a dull manner. But you can help me go through it and decide what pages are going to go where, right? And make that all pretty. So that'll be the thing we'll do most, is putting our signature together. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I am working on the last of them. So some hits and misses, but we have the one that folds first page. We have one that folds double, back page, and I'm working on another one right now that'll also be a double, I think. So this one I picked exactly where I wanted this to be, and then we're gonna fold it in 4 3/4 from there. Yeah, having some technical difficulties a little bit. I was trying to use my scoreboard. Problem is, scoreboard is not very, not perfect in exactly what I'm looking for, but you work with what you got, so make it the most of it. Don't look at the numbers up here, guys. I'm going off my ruler, and whatever whatever notch works for me in this case. Well, it is not 5 inches, it is 4 1/2. So I do it here, and then this one I just have to match it, which is a nice cute little tuck on this one. But I am definitely utilizing, I'm utilizing what I've got when I've got it. It's not my favorite scoreboard, but I have one, so I'm like, well, I'll make do with it. Sometimes it's better than trying to do the whole old school, trying to eyeball it. Alright, and they're all a little different. I don't know, I thought it was good. So they do fold differently inside and out, and I'm okay with that. Now, right now, I do not have a very prominent, that's probably my most prominent front cover, inner front cover. So this thing I feel like definitely needs almost another piece of paper for a cover, and I may have to print one, actually, because I don't have one that I just love. I don't have one of these that is just like, what I love the most, of course, is on the wrong side. I love this one, but she is on the wrong side. So, I am debating how I'm going to do this. I definitely want maybe every other white cream base to dark base. Let's take this out of the way now that we're done with scoring for the most part. So there we go. Now, my worries, they do stick out a little bit. This last one really sticks out at the end, so I did something wrong. I'm like, I feel like I did something wrong. So if I put it in here, oh yeah, that definitely sticks out way more than I want it to, especially when you're in here done. Well, because that's your front cover, and you see something here, but it's not until you open it that really, when you open your book, this is what you see. It definitely is not. So my first one's my first two are pretty good. The next two got a little white on me. So I really do need to get a little bit more in. Just a little bit of a bummer. I hate the fold lines, but this is going to get glued down anyway. It's not like it's going to stay wide open. Let's see if we can. I didn't want to go too much. Yeah, that's where I want it, but this one definitely needed to come in more glued. I was like, well, I guess I get the whole spool. I get the whole spool this way. A little bit of it's not an exact. It really isn't. I was hoping that when we did the one fold that I didn't have to fold so much in on the sides. There we go. I definitely want to go smaller, not. There we go. And even that, I'm like, okay, are we getting better? Because when okay, that is much better. Oh, yeah, I was getting out too far. I was getting ahead of myself for sure. Sometimes you don't know until you work it, right? So this one, well, that one's shorter than the rest. Those are still getting, yeah, that's not the one we want on the front. And it also it's worrisome because you start getting, hold on. You know me, well, you don't know me, but if you watch me, you know I have to have a rhyme and reason. So we're going to go white, we're going to go beige, we're going to go white, we're going to go beige. I'm sort of hoping not to. I'm going to have the double tucks no matter what I do, where it's tuck, tuck, about on the back side tucked. Yeah, no, it's all tucks on the same side. Isn't that funny? So that one doesn't have a tuck, so that tucks there, that tucks there, that tucks there, nothing on that side, but then we have a tuck, and a tuck. So yeah, front and middle have one page not tucked in. Isn't that weird? Okay, there's that. So I definitely knew that when it came to this one's sort of bland too. This one has not a whole lot to it, so it isn't perfect. So yeah, some of these are very bleh. But, so I figured, okay, so let's start adding in our extras and see where we stand with these things. Definitely want to decorate, you know, the front of this and tuck something into it. And then the back is definitely something that we can decorate this and allow a little bit of writing on the back. Or, you know, some neutral, whatever. We can have a nice contrast, and we can do this here with her. Do I go bag to bag? I do. No matter what we do, I guess, right? Brown on the back, pink on that one. Yeah, I think I can handle that. Alright. Now, my only thought was I was going to flip that around maybe so that we had a pocket on this side when we have a pocket on that side. So this one will be the flat one that we get to decorate if we wanted to. A little decoration and tuck something into it. These guys are going to have like cute little ephemera pieces in it. I've got smaller pieces or larger fussy cuts or whatever that we can put in here. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So we've got that. Decorative. I'll do the pink and the green on it. Those are going to get decorated. Now I have this little bit of tissue, which do we have anything it doesn't have? Really, everything has something on it now. Except for this outer piece. So maybe in between the pages. So, what the thought was on these was that they are perfect in width, but they are not in height. They're too tall. So each page was either going to have trim, ribbon, or, hold on, I got really loud. Hey Google, volume 1. Sorry, classical music is really good and then it gets really loud. Out of nowhere, right? Okay, so we're going to want to do, before I get too excited, I'm going to go every other in here, definitely. So yeah, it sticks out a little bit on the top, and I didn't really want that. So I figured on each one of these, we just do a light turn down, because I didn't really want to cut anything. And I can decorate these guys with trim. One on the bottom, one on the top kind of deal. Bottom, top, top, bottom, however you want to put it. And everything is sort of going to be wrapped around something else. So this one I'm going to fold up a little bit on the bottom. Some of them definitely have variety of coloring. So we got some dark stuff here too. A little dark, but I think I could like that. We'll work on that one. Maybe we need to get some pink in here. No, that one I do have to cut because it was a double piece, but you know, it's okay. Actually, what I can do, get a little water over the side over here, get it damp, and then we'll do the, because I think I'm going to have to, again, I'm going to have to, that one I don't have to fold down. Nice. Some of these pieces were definitely different than others, so I may not have to fold that one down. Let's see, let's go, actually, pinky color with this one. Pinky peach, which we're not really hot pink in any of this stuff, so I thought the color would work nicely. That one I don't have to fold out, so great. We'll have some pages that don't actually have anything folded up or down. beige, pink. Wait, is that my centerfold? Yeah, it is. Okay. So we gotta do something in the middle. I'm almost wondering. Oh, that needs to be part of our middle instead. Which then I could put this here. Okay, that works. Thought process is picking and choosing whether it has rhyme, rhythm, has a purpose, whether you want it to not be there, you know, it depends. So then I need this one here maybe. And inside this one, we'll put the pink again. Then we'll do a pink and a brown in the middle before we get to the decorative embossed piece. And we're gonna, let's go this way. So I have one on the bottom, I have one on the top. I think this one will be top again, which is fine with me. Especially since we're gonna, I love that because we'll decorate here. You'll have this underneath it sewn in. Oh, she's getting fat. You definitely want to, you know, keep. Usually I will at this point go through with my bone folder if I can without damaging anything. And you sort of want to really press down those creases to help keep it from being too bulky. Nice to do. And I know you're putting it right in and you're like just making that decision of, you know, but if I'm going to let the imperfections sort of pop up at this point. We're just going to run with it. I sort of folded it according to where the paper naturally wanted to fold somewhat evenly. So it's not a bad thing. But use your bone folder. Get all those creases really nice and tight. Nice and smooth. And tuck it in and it'll help take some of the fluff out of the journal. For now. Doesn't mean after we start decorating it. Once it's sewn in and you're decorating it, if it pops up, it's not so bad. You're like, okay, well, that's doable. But, you know, right now I'm trying to, like, work through and I want to make sure that everything is sort of where I want it and it's, you know, is this going to be feasible? And I am just putting the next one in the middle. No, camera, no, I'm just, all right. Try not to crease it on the next one. So what are we all up to? How are our plans going? Do we have anything fun planned for Valentine's? I hope to have one more video for you on Thursday. We'll do something different. We'll get away from this. I don't know what we'll do on Thursday. I have to come up. Oh, well, it's coming. I have a pretty new doily. I was going to come up with a journal cover idea. So I might do that. Ways to maybe use up scrap paper and or create, you know, ways to use what you have around the office. No, yeah, around the office and around the craft room. And we'll put I found a gorgeous doily, like crochet doily, and I think it works for a skinny journal. I think it might be too big for a normal journal, or it's going to be able to fold up off the bottom and make your automatic pockets. So we'll look at that maybe on Thursday. We'll do do a doily and shape it to work with the best cover possible, and we'll get some either. What am I going to do with that one? I don't know. We'll do with that one yet. I'll have to look, see what I have. Whether we're going to cover with scrapbook paper, we're going to cover up like a cereal box, and then we're going to do, you know, scrap paper or even scrapbook paper or scraps of paper from digital printouts, and do maybe a botanical, floral-y looking, feeling journal cover. Maybe we'll do a journal cover on Thursday. That's what I'm thinking. Now, this one I'm not going to do too much because it is already, you know, when you do emboss and you fold it, it does have things have a tendency to pop out and break. But we're going to sew it in. It's just going to be something pretty in the middle where, you know, we'll ink it here. You'll see trim and stuff above it. You can write here, right over here. And that's just sort of our pretty middle. Now, I may even have a few pieces left over that I may glue to the inside. We'll do some maybe little clusters, flat clusters in here to make that a very decorative centerpiece. So the only thing I'm missing now, fluffy as this is, yeah, that feels better. Doesn't feel so. See, then we're going to sew it in here. It does stick out a little bit, and that's to be expected with all the paper in there. But if I sew it in as tight as I can, see, we got the spacing in there. In the front, you'll see this, so I may want to put something pretty here. Normally you would have a cover, but this is sort of your cover at the same time, so I might not. I might want to put a little trim or lace here, like we've done with everything else, or I do a little lace trim up right there on that edge. We'll see what the edges do. I don't think I'm going to trim anything else. I was debating on decal cutting the pages that don't have any folds. I don't have a lot of those, do I? I don't know, most everything's folded. I had the front cover and I have this middle cover. That's the only two that don't have a fold. So I might decal cut just those two pages on the edges just to give more dimension. We have to ink everything, of course. Oh my goodness, it's gonna give it some poof. It's gonna give it some pretty poof. Now all I gotta do now is do a sort of a torn piece of tissue that I want to put over this one. And this, yeah, definitely gonna ink it, and maybe we need to put some kind of, you know, extra external, like 3D, I'm way up too high, sorry, an extra 3D, you know, sort of cluster here that won't really get in the way too much, but give this a little bit of dimension. But we definitely need to ink these pages. So I was trying to decide on a cute little section that sort of fit the sewing feel, right? Maybe we can see the Vogue pattern word would be great. So let's see, if it's 5.5 inches tall, we only need down to here, and pencil. So give or take, you know, doesn't have, well, it could be a little thinner. It doesn't have to actually be as tall because of the fact that it's, you know, an insert. There's 5. So 4 3/8, 6/8, 8 6/8. So I can fold it, so it's on both sides. No, I don't have to. I could offset it because we like the other side. Let's see what's on the other side. Or is it just as bland? It's just as bland. But I don't need all of it. Like, I could have it stop short. Like, I only need maybe 3 inches that way. That's in the middle. So I want that to show up on this side. So let's not goof that up, right? I only need 3 inches on the other side. And I need at least 4 inches on this side. 4, let's see, there's my 3" to 4 goes way over here, so I don't need that. I think 3 by 3 goes 6, so it comes up short on both sides. 3 inches on both sides in, so 6 inches. Okay. But I want the word Vogue pattern on the front. So 6 inches is right here. And the 20 over here, and only down about there. Ooh, we're just gonna fussy cut that in. I don't know, I got it. It was in something I had, and I'm like, I don't want to cut it clean or try to. Ooh, duh. Use the proper whatever, people. This would be pretty. Right, so why not? You know, using different things to, you know, I can't cut straight, of course, as you can see. I'm doing this at an angle bad. Okay, so let's try to erase some of my lines carefully. And then, haha, won't be straight just because everything is against me today. Let's see. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have stuffed our, oh, that's cute. That'll be good. Well, I like that scrap. We have created our signature. We've picked our pages. We've picked our pocket, our mini bags to make pockets. We have folded down pages. We've only made one cut to create, you know, out of a standard 11 by 8.5, which is like 8 by 10.5 when it's done with printing. We have trimmed it only once to take one section off. Right? We only took one section off of the pages. Right? We took one section off the top. And we folded in both one side or both to make it down to shrink it down to the size we need in width, because we didn't want to waste too much and we wanted to utilize it. And then see, we do this and I sew this in. Yeah, it's totally not straight at all. Don't mind that there. It's a little wonky down here in all directions, but that's me. There we go. All right, I don't mind that at all. See, this is Vogue Patterns, which I think is great, being a vintage sewing digital kit. So we got the pages, the inks, things to glue down and put some, you know, some kind of ribbon, grosgrain trim of some sort up here to decorate. ink it, gets more inking, glue it down so we can tuck in journal cards. Something cute and decorative, we can decorate that up. Tuck, trim, decorate, and tuck. But see, then we have these pages in between. I mean, let alone the fact that you have journal cards in almost every page, but writing. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So it's 20 pages that are totally writable front and back with very little on the bottom. But then you have a number of pages. You got 1, you got 2, 3, let's see, 4, 5, 6 pages that have tucks in them with 1 to 2 journal cards. We have little bags that also have something tucked in them that may or may not be writing, but cute to decorate with or cute to have. So 52 pages are here, but 20 of them are definitely immediately writing. Others have journal cards to write on. So cute little thing, great for a month of, Mother's Day in May or birthday month. Great little card for birthday month, things that you may have, things you like about that month, and things like, okay, what songs, what movies, what flowers bloom, what happens holiday-wise, how do you celebrate it, all that jazz. It'd be a great, maybe, monthly, birthday month present. Somebody who loves pink, who loves shabby, who loves sagey mint colors, and has maybe has a thing for crafts and sewing. I think this would be a wonderful gift. So we're almost there. Ta-da! All right, our signature's in. So all I have left to do, guys, is now, ink it, decorate a few pieces, and get everybody stuffed with their proper journal cards. And this little guy will be done. So next time you see this, it will be done. I will show it off as a final and, saying, okay, now it's an Etsy, ready to go. Here's what it looks like, my little flip through. And, allow you guys to make that decision. Get a more hands-on view of it before, you purchase it. Of course, the photos only do it justice, so video is always helpful. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Took a piece of paper, cut it, folded it, put it to good use, and the scraps that are left over can become a tiny little notebook or something of great fun. So, love you all very much. Thank you so much for watching this Tuesday morning, this quick signature assembly, so you see what I'm doing to work with. And, yeah, I'll get it all in, and away we go. This lovely flip-flop ephemera holder with small journal will be complete. Ta-da! Right? Oh, loving it. I hope you love it too. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.